Hi, I want to talk to you today about something that some of us are embarrassed or ashamed to talk about or even say that we suffer from, and that's depression. Hi, I'm Mark Beggs from Right Frame Academy, and I want to talk to you today about depression. I want to tell you a little story, very true, about a friend of mine who, we call him Tom. I don't want to say his real name. Tom I met in 1995. He was your ideal salesman. He used to come into us selling fax machines and photocopiers. But he had the look, the suit, the tie, the shoes, and he always had the smile and the sparkle in the eye. He was fantastic at selling. But he was the type of salesman that even if he didn't get a sale on that day, he would still sit down and have a coffee with you, and you look forward to meeting. Because he wasn't always selling, he wasn't always pushing, but in fact he was always selling, but he had his own unique way of doing it, and that's why in the company he worked for, he was number one. I stopped seeing him in around 1998. I hadn't seen him for a good few years. Then around 2008, I had a project that I needed someone to do, and just by chance I was on LinkedIn and I saw his name. It popped up in front of me. Again, a coincidence, maybe not. So I gave him a buzz. I said, let's go out for a coffee. I have something that may interest you. When I met him, the first thing that came across me was, as he walked into a room, is that he didn't look the same. He wasn't in the same swagger. He didn't look the suit-wise. Nothing looked the old Tom that I knew. It just wasn't the same. Even his weight. I actually joked with him. I thought he'd swallowed a young kid that he put on so much weight. Because that wasn't the chap I knew in 95, 96, 97. It wasn't the chap that came into me with a sparkle in the eye. The sparkle was gone. But I sat down and had a coffee and said, Tom, I have a project that I'd love you to get involved in for maybe 2 or 3 months. Not an awful lot of work, but it's up your street because of your expertise in selling. And he looked at me and said, Mark, do you mind if I tell you something? I said, no. Oh, talk away. And he said, well, since the crash, his wife and him had lost a lot of money and a lot of shares. But every morning he got up, put on his suit and tie, brought the kids to school and dropped the wife off at work and went looking for a job. Because the last job he was working in, the company closed down. But he didn't go looking for a job. He came straight back home, took off his suit and tie and got back into bed. And he got out of bed again about 45 minutes before he had to pick up the kids. And he put the suit back on again and the tie and went to pick up the kids. And then his wife came home and he talked about how great his day was and companies went to see and different recruitment agencies. But none of it happened. And none of them still knew. And he was doing this for the last year. But even telling me was the weight off his shoulders. But I could see this wasn't the Tom that I knew. This wasn't the chap that I used to know for selling. And he knew that. And I said to him, what's changed? Like, why you? He said, you were brilliant at what you did. And he said, he just lost his zest. He's lost his motivation. And when I closed down my company, Doherty Advertising, the same sort of thing happened. Only what kept me going was I sat in a conservatory for 6 months, 7 months, writing a novel. A novel that's now available on Amazon. But that was my way of being motivated and keeping myself going. And having talked to different business people and different friends of mine and different people in the UK, in Ireland and elsewhere, one of the big things with depression is lack of motivation, lack of purpose in life, and the feeling of isolation. The feeling that you're on your own, that there's no one else there to help you. Even though you have your friends and your family and your kids and everyone's all around you, you still feel isolated. There was Tom. He had 2 great kids. He's a great wife. He's brothers and sisters. He still went home, took off the tie and shirt and got back into bed. Can you imagine the effort of getting undressed at 9:30 in the morning to get back into bed, and the effort of getting back out, getting dressed again and living the lie for a year or more about what you're doing and not doing. The strain. And that's why he put on weight. The strain and the look in his eye, the sparkle was gone. So we've developed a small program around depression. It's not a cure for depression. And I hate the word cure. I don't like the word depression. It's like, but we all believe we should give everything a label. And labels, I believe, are not good. It's like when you go into an airport, what do you stick on your case or your baggage? A label. So when you put a label on something, it brings a massive amount of baggage with it. So I don't believe there's a cure. But I do believe there's a way of managing it and managing your life that you can keep depression and everything that comes with it at bay. That if you have motivation and if you have purpose in life and you have direction and you know what you want and where you want to go, that you can manage that blackness that is there that causes depression. That feeling that you have no purpose. That feeling that there's no reason to continue. And that feeling of isolation. And as I said, we've developed this, and I've developed this based on people I know, people I've talked to, people I've helped, and myself. Because I do believe every one of us suffer at some time or another from depression. But we call it different things. Let's face it. Do you have a son or a daughter or a husband or a wife that says in bed, maybe for a week or 2 weeks on end, or doesn't get up and you call them lazy? Maybe someone's lost a job. They won't leave the house. And you say, well, actually, they're not interested. They're just going through a phase. Whether you call it depression, whether you call it laziness, lack of interest, it's nearly all the same. And a lot of it has the same symptoms. And when things have symptoms, there is other things you can do to help cure those symptoms and move yourself on. So, with these programs we put together, I'm hoping that it will give you an idea and help you move on and do more with your life. They're free videos. We're not charging for them. Because we think it's important that everyone has a purpose in life. Everyone has motivation and everyone is moving towards something better. If you do want to talk to somebody and you'd like to talk to us about maybe something that's happening at the moment and what the triggers are that's caused your depression, or you need to talk to somebody, email me, mark@rightframeacademy.com, or just go onto a website. There's many agencies that help people that suffer from depression, that are there 24 hours a day to help people get through it. So as I said, we've done a couple of videos. One is about your purpose in life. One is about isolation. And one is about motivation and putting everything together and moving forward. So I don't want you to be like Tom and go back to bed now and live in a lie. Because at the end of the day, it's a complete and utter waste of your life. Do you want to sit back in 10 years' time and go and look back on the years you've wasted and been doing nothing and producing nothing? Even if it's only producing happiness, even if it's only getting up and cutting the garden, but that you did nothing and you became nothing. I hope that our series of videos will help you get past where you are now. And as I said, if you need any help, you want any suggestions, or if you have any suggestions, or you want to tell us your story on how you beat depression and how you moved on and became more and made something more yourself, and how you cope with it daily, email me, or why not post some comments underneath this this video. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. I'm Mark Beggs from Right Frame Academy. Hi, before you go, just to say to you, we've produced a number of these videos especially for you and to help people you may know on depression, from isolation to purpose in life. If you do know someone that these may help, I really would appreciate if you could pass them on or give them the link to these videos. Thanks very much for listening, and we do appreciate your time.